Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today we are gonna be looking at small businesses, what small businesses are, the advantages, disadvantages, and their importance to the country. Now, small businesses cannot be. You can't just basically define any small businesses. You can just say it by the number of employees that they have. An employee less than eight, or some things like how much finance they generate. But there's not a specific definition of small businesses, nor a course requires it. A course only asks for the advantages of small businesses, the disadvantages, and their importance. So let's look at that. Now, advantages of a small business. What are the advantages that you have when you are operating as a small business? Well, it is easy to maintain the business and handle the operations of the business. Quick decision making, as less people are involved in decision making. Now, this one is of course quite obvious because the since your business is a very small scale, you don't have many people, you don't have many more employees that you have to instruct. You only have a few number of employees that you can instruct in one meeting, which can be held very fast, as compared to a large organization that you where you have large number of, you can say, different authorities, supervisor, manager, worker representative, etc., etc. And then you have multiple branches as well, multiple layouts, you have a lot of franchises, so you have to like communicate with each of them effectively, so that becomes quite an issue when you have to make a decision. Now, it also has another advantage that they also offer personal service to the customers, which large businesses don't. So that's why the customers become more, you can say, loyal to the business, and they don't go to the competition, and that becomes one of the, yeah, that helps them to like set up a good customer base. It is also advantages for not just for the small businesses but for the customers themselves, because customers do want personal service but they don't get it from large businesses which just exploit them by their needs, you can say. But yeah, if small businesses offer them, then yeah, customers can make a compromise and use and get in a business or a trade with small businesses instead of large businesses. Now, since small staff is employed, it is easier to maintain good relations with them and keep them motivated, which boosts productivity. And as I said earlier, that you can easily communicate with your staff, your employees. So if you are only have 6 to 8 employees, you can say, so you are able to communicate with each of them effectively. You are able to keep them motivated, and you see if any one of them requires something, they need some extra holidays or some extra money, extra boost salary, you can look after them, look after their needs, their personal wants, and in return they will work hard for your business. So that becomes a very good advantage that you have, because in large businesses the employees don't get the attention that they want, and because of that their morale decreases, and hence their performance also decreases. Now, what are the disadvantages of small businesses? As you see, can see that they are only like advantage column is like small and disadvantages very big, but it's mainly due to the explanation given. So let's just look at that. The owners are responsible for different departments as they are not able to employ a specialist manager. So the owner needs to be multi-skilled, as we have talked earlier in the sole trader part as well, when when we were comparing unincorporated businesses with incorporated businesses. So like you don't have many people special managers. You have to handle accounts yourself, you have to handle marketing yourself, you have to handle your research and development yourself, you have to handle operations yourself, all, and you also have to motivate employees yourself. So that becomes an issue. Not all of them has to be done, because they might have some employer for accounting maybe, but still most major part is done by the owner, so that becomes an issue. uh, the another disadvantage you can give is that the changes in external environment. There are a lot of changes in external environment, like influx of competitors or change in customer taste and fashion, which can lead to an exponential drop in sales, like a very big drop, as they usually have very small product portfolios. So as you have a very small product portfolio, a change in customer taste or an influx of competitors and for that particular product, that means that you don't have any other products to offer. So you have to compete on those small number of products that you have, and if those products are also endangered, their demand is also gone, because of competition or customer taste changes, so that becomes an issue and can lead to a generally leads to failure of a business, a shutdown of the business. And there's also the point that there's a limitation of finance, a big limitation of finance when you're comparing it to large businesses, because they don't have enough credibility for overdrafts, and they don't have any collateral for secured loans. Therefore, they might take unsecured loans, which have a high rate of interest and lowering the profits of the business. Some businesses do not even get unsecured loans because just the banks are just not comfortable giving them loans. So that becomes an issue. And like the overdraft facilities, even if they get loans somewhat, they don't get the overdraft facilities which are needed to maintain the cash flows in times of need, in times of economic crisis. Since the scale of operation is small, they are not able to benefit from economies of scale as well. They don't buy in bulk for because their demand is very small, so their supply is also less, and hence they don't have get to buy a large amount of stock at once. So they can't avail much purchasing economies of scale. They can't also avail other economies like marketing or finance. All these economies of scale are only availed by businesses which have a larger scale of operation. Small businesses don't have that, so yeah, that's also a disadvantage. But this is not, yeah, this is one of the big disadvantages as well. Now, the importance of small businesses in the development of the country. This is a very good question that comes around in 8 mark question, in 12 mark question. Like, what is the most important thing about for small businesses in the development of country? So, these are the 4 important points that I've given. There might be more, but yeah, these are the most important ones that I have found. Generally, good enough to get full scores or like a very great score in your paper in the long answers. So, let's begin. Employment opportunities increase in GDP, compete with large firms, and often enable dynamic entrepreneurs. Now, employment opportunities, some might say, what? Why is that? Because small businesses only employ like 6 to 8 people, just in random number. But that's not the case. Yeah, they do employ. One small business might employ that, but the number of small businesses in a country are quite huge. Like some say, in some countries there is 60%, some countries there is 40%. So the number of emerging small businesses are quite large number. Every day you see a new business opening, so that's why they employ more people. And collectively, small businesses may employ less labor, skilled and unskilled, but as there are large number of small businesses, they collectively provide employment opportunities for quite a large number of people. A very high percentage of employees work for small businesses. And also, it what is the advantage of this is that it leads to social cohesion as the gap between income groups is reduced. Social cohesion is that when your gap between income groups is reduced, then the crime rate also decreases because people have all the standards of living that they need. They don't have to do any crime to get more money. So that's one of the good advantages that these countries have. Now, there's also another point of increase in GDP. Small businesses generally contribute a very small contribution to the GDP because they don't produce large amount. But collectively, as the number of small businesses increase, more products are made and surpluses exploded. Sorry, over here this madness made. Yeah. More products are made and surplus is exported, which is used to earn foreign exchange. So that, like a large number, since small businesses, like they collectively produce a large amount of products and services, products basically. These products can be exported, and surplus is the surplus products after fulfilling the needs of the local people. They are exported and helps them to earn foreign exchange. Now, for example, you can say fishing industry is the most common example you can give because in our fishing industry, large amount of fish products are sent to countries which don't have the water near there. But water, I mean like sea. They don't. They are surrounded by countries surrounded by land only. So that's for those in those countries. Our country, like Pakistan, they earn a lot of foreign exchange from there. Small industries also compete with large firms. Now, this might be ridiculous for some, like, how do these small industries compete with large firms? But the thing is that generally all businesses start off as small businesses, and as they grow, the scale of production increases, and they provide products at a relatively lower price as compared to larger firms. So it prevents the customers from getting exploited. Suppose there's only one business in an industry, and so that as a niche market, for example, if it provides us a different product to a service, then they might try to exploit the product. That okay, we are the only one offering it, so you have to pay a premium price for that. But if a small business enters that market, it will provide that product for a relatively lower price at first, so customers are prevented from being exploited. They give competition to large businesses as well by relatively lower price, and as they keep growing, they become a larger business, and that's why they give off competition to the larger firms. Now, the big point is that they are often run by dynamic entrepreneurs. Why this is important to the development of country is that because these entrepreneurs are innovative. They try to find a niche market which is not exploited yet to meet customer demands. They think of innovative ways of production, like new technologies, and they take risks and try to more creative ideas and try to make the production process more efficient with new machineries or production methods. Because all small businesses, they start off with these entrepreneurs, these are dynamic entrepreneurs. So that's why they might not have the funds for their big ideas, so they start off with small businesses, but the ideas are very innovative. They take their risk, they try to be more creative ideas, and try to make production process more efficient with new machineries or production methods. Because generally, even all the big people that you see, they were all innovative and they started off small, but they ended up big. So that's all about the importance of small businesses. Okay, and that finishes our lesson for today. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.